Ready? Play.
I would say she's playing Anne Lee tomorrow. I'm just getting up there head to head as well. It looks like they have not played each other, at least according to this, what I see on the WTA website. Yeah, so they've not played each other before, but it would be nice for Emma and Ons. I just think it's a nice matchup, especially on grass. If we did get potentially Emma against Ons, I don't know how Ons is getting on right now, by the way. But yeah, Raducanu, of course, who's I think if she's probably a little bit more than sneaky good, I think slightly better than sneaky good year, as in like nothing Emma Raducanu does is sneaky because she's on the media radar so much that that obviously it's just not possible for her to be sneaky in a way. But she's if her name wasn't Emma Raducanu, you would just be going, oh, that player ranked that place in the world is having a sneaky good year, because she's just getting some good results wherever she goes. And clay, I think, will never be a surface where she's strongest on, and yet she had some decent runs and some decent performances. I felt on the clay this year, and the losses she had were fine. You know, losing to Swiatek in Paris and losing to Coco in Rome, I think it was, after having some other good results. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on is that back issue. But if the back is okay, I expect her to at least get to the second round in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the back is the main thing. Clearly from what she's saying, it's a long-term issue that she's going to always have to deal with. The back is fine, and she can get through it. She should beat Lee, although Lee is a tricky opponent, I will say. I remember her making one of the Melbourne Somerset tournaments in 2021 in the COVID year against Contivate. And they didn't actually play the match. They had to cancel it, possibly to do with weather. That's probably been the highlight of her career so far. But I could see Lee maybe putting up a fight, but Raducanu, a healthy Raducanu, a confident Raducanu, should win that match. And then we'll see whether that sets up a match with Ons Jabeur or Maya Joint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
I would say she's playing Anne Lee tomorrow. I'm just getting up there head-to-head as well. It looks like they have not played each other, at least according to this, what I see on the WTA website. Yeah, so they've not played each other before, but it would be nice for Emma and Ons. I just think it's a nice matchup, especially on grass. If we did get potentially Emma against Ons. I don't know how Ons is getting on right now, by the way. But yeah, Raducanu, of course, who's I think if she's probably a little bit more than sneaky good, I think slightly better than sneaky good year, as in like nothing Emma Raducanu does is sneaky because she's on the media radar so much that that obviously it's just not possible for her to be sneaky in a way. But she's if her name wasn't Emma Raducanu, you would just be going, oh, that player ranked that place in the world is having a sneaky good year, because she's just getting some good results wherever she goes. And clay, I think, will never be a surface where she's strongest on, and yet she had some decent runs and some decent performances. I felt on the clay this year, and the losses she had were fine. You know, losing to Swiatek in Paris and losing to Coco in Rome, I think it was, after having some other good results. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on is that back issue. But if the back is okay, I expect her to at least get to the second round in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the back is the main thing. Clearly from what she's saying, it's a long-term issue that she's going to always have to deal with. The back is fine, and she can get through it. She should beat Lee, although Lee is a tricky opponent, I will say. I remember her making one of the Melbourne Somerset tournaments in 2021 in the COVID year against Contivate. And they didn't actually play the match. They had to cancel it, possibly to do with weather. That's probably been the highlight of her career so far. But I could see Lee maybe putting up a fight, but Raducanu, a healthy Raducanu, a confident Raducanu, should win that match. And then we'll see whether that sets up a match with Onshipper or Maya joint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Welcome those tuning in for the Raducanu and Lee watch along. We are just going to bring the final decisive moments of the previous match, the match that will precede it, of course, which is this Harriet Dart by Barbora Krejcikova match. Raducanu will come up shortly afterwards. Forehand to forehand here in this Siniakova-Pegula match, but Siniakova is going to dump that drop shot wide and into the tram line. She looks like she's struggling. I think we're looking at one of two scenarios. Either Siniakova retires at some point from this match, or she just decides to see it out because she can hit a tennis ball, but not much more. Pegula goes long on the return, so it's going to be 3-2. And she's not retiring yet, I don't think. No, she's gone to her chair. So Siniakova not retiring yet. Krejcikova, by the way, has a game point for 6-5. What a crazy match that has turned out to be. She's going to get some more attention, is Siniakova here. From the physio. Looks like she's in quite a bit of pain as well. Krejcikova's held for 6-5. Wow. I knew that Dart was going to struggle to serve it out. I just knew it. It was a little sniff at a double break that she had, and I thought, you need that double break. But she wasn't able to get it. Now she's certain to stay in the match. And you do fear the worst. So Dart serving to stay in the match. Jessica Pegula up a set and a break on Siniakova. Do hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Has Dart got some history, Jean, of not being able to serve out matches, okay? Well, now she's got to serve to stay in it. Jean also suggesting that Siniakova shouldn't risk it. 15 love there, an ace for Pegula. Well, now Dart is certain to stay in the match. And it's 30 love to hit to Pegula on her serve. You can see the level of aggression from Siniakova, just up a notch, I think, as she thinks that's the only way I'm going to be able to fight my way back into this match, is keeping these points short. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, love 15 on the Harriet Dart serve. Danger, danger, certainly for Harriet Dart, with Krejcikova 3 points away from victory right now. Meanwhile, Siniakova's fighting. Oh, Harriet Dart, love 30. Look at that, by the way, that backhand winner there from Siniakova. She's just going for it right now. Look at that return. Look at that return. Coming into the net. And she's going to have a break point. 30-40. Maybe she should get injured more often. Dart is love 30. Serving at 5-6. Krejcikova now love 40. 3 match points for Barbora Krejcikova. Harriet Dart has had 2 match points on her serve when trying to serve it out. Come and go. But Krejcikova broke, then held, and now is threatening to take the match. Love 40 for Barbora Krejcikova. Wow. What an epic that has turned out to be, and it has delayed the Emma Raducanu and Lee encounter, and Barbora Krejcikova's done it. The Wimbledon 2024 champion is through to the round of 16 in pretty dramatic fashion. 6-3, 7-6, 5-7. Pretty dramatic fashion, because she was up a set and a break, and that held until she was serving for the match. This is Barbora Krejcikova. You know, Miss Cool, Miss I've won 2 Grand Slams, including Wimbledon a year ago. But she couldn't serve it out. Harriet Dart took the lead in the second set tiebreak, an advantage she never ceded. And then Dart goes up a break. In fact, she threatened a double break at times in that second set, but ultimately didn't get the double break. Nevertheless, she was serving for it. Gets up to 40-15, 2 match points. They come and go. Krejcikova gets the match between her teeth. She then holds serve as well, having broken Harriet Dart when she was serving for the match, and ultimately breaks to love to seal her spot in the round of 16. But that match is going to hurt Harriet for sure. She's going to have to get over it pretty quickly with Wimbledon less than a week away. But it's Krejcikova who marches on in Eastbourne. Wow. Okay, over to what we'll do for the Raducanu Lee stream as we wait for Raducanu and Lee to take the court is you guys can have a quick break, or at least listen to Nick and I preview the Raducanu Lee match.
Ready? Play.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jaime Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take
sir.
one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready. Ready. Play.
I would say she's playing Anne Lee tomorrow. I'm just getting up there head to head as well. It looks like they have not played each other, at least according to this, what I see on the WTA website. Yeah, so they've not played each other before, but it would be nice for Emma and Ons. I just think it's a nice matchup, especially on grass. If we did get potentially Emma against Ons, I don't know how Ons is getting on right now, by the way. But yeah, Raducanu, of course, who's I think if she's probably a little bit more than sneaky good, I think slightly better than sneaky good year, as in like nothing Emma Raducanu does is sneaky because she's on the media radar so much that that obviously it's just not possible for her to be sneaky in a way. But she's if her name wasn't Emma Raducanu, you would just be going, oh, that player ranked that place in the world is having a sneaky good year, because she's just getting some good results wherever she goes. And clay, I think, will never be a surface where she's strongest on, and yet she had some decent runs and some decent performances. I felt on the clay this year, and the losses she had were fine. You know, losing to Swiatek in Paris and losing to Coco in Rome, I think it was, after having some other good results. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on is that back issue. But if the back is okay, I expect her to at least get to the second round in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the back is the main thing. Clearly from what she's saying, it's a long-term issue that she's going to always have to deal with. The back is fine, and she can get through it. She should beat Lee, although Lee is a tricky opponent, I will say. I remember her making one of the Melbourne Somerset tournaments in 2021 in the COVID year against Conservate. And they didn't actually play the match. They had to cancel it, possibly to do with weather. That's probably been the highlight of her career so far. But I could see Lee maybe putting up a fight, but Raducanu, a healthy Raducanu, confident Raducanu, should win that match. And then we'll see whether that sets up a match with Ons or Maya Joint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
I would say she's playing Anne Lee tomorrow. I'm just getting up there head to head as well. It looks like they have not played each other, at least according to this, what I see on the WTA website. Yeah, so they've not played each other before, but it would be nice for Emma and Ons. I just think it's a nice matchup, especially on grass. If we did get potentially Emma against Ons, I don't know how Ons is getting on right now, by the way. But yeah, Raducanu, of course, who's I think if she's probably a little bit more than sneaky good, I think slightly better than sneaky good year, as in like nothing Emma Raducanu does is sneaky because she's on the media radar so much that that obviously it's just not possible for her to be sneaky in a way. But if her name wasn't Emma Raducanu, you would just be going, oh, that player ranked that place in the world is having a sneaky good year, because she's just getting some good results wherever she goes. And clay, I think, will never be a surface where she's strongest on, and yet she had some decent runs and some decent performances. I felt on the clay this year, and the losses she had were fine. You know, losing to Swiatek in Paris and losing to Coco in Rome, I think it was, after having some other good results. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on is that back issue. But if the back is okay, I expect her to at least get to the second round in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the back is the main thing. Clearly from what she's saying, it's a long-term issue that she's going to always have to deal with. The back is fine, and she can get through it. She should beat Lee, although Lee is a tricky opponent, I will say. I think I remember her making one of the Melbourne Somerset tournaments in 2021 in the COVID year against Contivate. And they didn't actually play the match. They had to cancel it, possibly to do with weather. That's probably been the highlight of her career so far. But I could see Lee maybe putting up a fight, but Raducanu, a healthy Raducanu, a confident Raducanu should win that match. And then we'll see whether that sets up a match with Onshipper or Maya Joint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
I would say she's playing Anne Lee tomorrow. I'm just getting up there head to head as well. It looks like they have not played each other, at least according to this, what I see on the WTA website. Yeah, so they've not played each other before, but it would be nice for Emma and Ons. I just think it's a nice matchup, especially on grass. If we did get potentially Emma against Ons. I don't know how Ons is getting on right now, by the way. But yeah, Raducanu, of course, who's I think if she's probably a little bit more than sneaky good, I think slightly better than sneaky good year, as in like nothing Emma Raducanu does is sneaky because she's on the media radar so much that that obviously it's just not possible for her to be sneaky in a way. But if her name wasn't Emma Raducanu, you would just be going, oh, that player ranked that place in the world is having a sneaky good year, because she's just getting some good results wherever she goes. And clay, I think, will never be a surface where she's strongest on, and yet she had some decent runs and some decent performances. I felt on the clay this year, and the losses she had were fine. You know, losing to Swiatek in Paris and losing to Coco in Rome, I think it was. After having some other good results. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on is that back issue. But if the back is okay, I expect her to at least get to the second round in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the back is the main thing. Cleve, from what she's saying, it's a long-term issue that she's going to always have to deal with. The back is fine, and she can get through it. She should beat Lee, although Lee is a tricky opponent, I will say. I think I remember her making one of the Melbourne Somerset tournaments in 2021 in the COVID year against Contivate. And they didn't actually play the match. They had to cancel it, possibly to do with weather. That's probably been the highlight of her career so far. But I could see Lee maybe putting up a fight, but Raducanu, a healthy Raducanu, a confident Raducanu should win that match. And then we'll see whether that sets up a match with Onshipper or Maya Joint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
I would say she's playing Anne Lee tomorrow. I'm just getting up there head to head as well. It looks like they have not played each other, at least according to this, what I see on the WTA website. Yeah, so they've not played each other before, but it would be nice for Emma and Ons. I just think it's a nice matchup, especially on grass. If we did get potentially Emma against Ons. I don't know how Ons is getting on right now, by the way. But yeah, Raducanu, of course, who's I think if she's probably a little bit more than sneaky good, I think slightly better than sneaky good year, as in like nothing Emma Raducanu does is sneaky because she's on the media radar so much that that obviously it's just not possible for her to be sneaky in a way. But if her name wasn't Emma Raducanu, you would just be going, oh, that player ranked that place in the world is having a sneaky good year, because she's just getting some good results wherever she goes. And clay, I think, will never be a surface where she's strongest on, and yet she had some decent runs and some decent performances. I felt on the clay this year, and the losses she had were fine. You know, losing to Swiatek in Paris and losing to Coco in Rome, I think it was. After having some other good results. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on is that back issue. But if the back is okay, I expect her to at least get to the second round in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the back is the main thing. Clearly from what she's saying, it's a long-term issue that she's going to always have to deal with. The back is fine, and she can get through it. She should beat Lee, although Lee is a tricky opponent, I will say. I remember her making one of the Melbourne Somerset tournaments in 2021 in the COVID year against Conservate, and they didn't actually play the match. They had to cancel it, possibly to do with weather. That's probably been the highlight of her career so far. But I could see Lee maybe putting up a fight, but Raducanu, a healthy Raducanu, a confident Raducanu, should win that match, and then we'll see whether that sets up a match with Onshipper or Maya Joint.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
I would say she's playing Anne Lee tomorrow. I'm just getting up there head to head as well. It looks like they have not played each other, at least according to this, what I see on the WTA website. Yeah, so they've not played each other before, but it would be nice for Emma and Ons. I just think it's a nice matchup, especially on grass. If we did get potentially Emma against Ons. I don't know how Ons is getting on right now, by the way. But yeah, Raducanu, of course, who's I think if she's probably a little bit more than sneaky good, I think slightly better than sneaky good year, as in like nothing Emma Raducanu does is sneaky, because she's on the media radar so much that that obviously it's just not possible for her to be sneaky in a way. But if her name wasn't Emma Raducanu, you would just be going, oh, that player ranked that place in the world is having a sneaky good year, because she's just getting some good results wherever she goes. And clay, I think, will never be a surface where she's strongest on, and yet she had some decent runs and some decent performances. I felt on the clay this year, and the losses she had were fine. You know, losing to Swiatek in Paris and losing to Coco in Rome, I think it was. After having some other good results. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on is that back issue. But if the back is okay, I expect her to at least get to the second round in Eastbourne.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, the back is the main thing. Clearly from what she's saying, it's a long-term issue that she's going to always have to deal with. The back is fine, and she can get through it. She should beat Lee, although Lee is a tricky opponent, I will say. I remember her making one of the Melbourne Somerset tournaments in 2021 in the COVID year against
My name is Raducanu, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, My name is Jaime Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Hello, everybody. I'm still sharing the scoreline from Harriet Dart against Barbora Krejcikova. That was the match on centre court that preceded this one, and what an epic it was. Krejcikova was serving for the match in the second set, unable to serve it out. Dart punished her, decided to push the match to a third set. Dart was serving for the match in the deciding set. Krejcikova broke and then went on to win the match. Pretty dramatic that was. Here we have Ann Lee, though, up against Emma Raducanu. And look at those lush green grass that we see in the UK. Perhaps a little more reminiscent of Wimbledon. Anyway, 40-30 game point here for Ann Lee in this opening game of the match. Backhand return from Raducanu. Forehand, Emma. Forehand from Lee. Clips the net. Raducanu then moving her opponent around a bit here. Raducanu, of course, keep an eye on her physical state, especially in terms of the back injury that she seems to have had recently. And that forehand is going to go long from Lee. So we are at deuce. Do let me know in the live chat who you think is going to win and also get voting in our poll. Ooh, lucky net cord there for Ann Lee, and she's got a game point. And Lee holds for 1-love. Also, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. It was a wayward forehand pass from Raducanu that gave Lee that first game. Lee wrapped up nice and warm, but decided that actually the temperature was a little bit too warm to be wearing that long sleeve t-shirt, and deciding at the changes ends to trim down. Okay, so over to you, Emma, the 7 seed. Mark Petchey there. Recently joined Emma Raducanu's team. Was it maybe in Miami when he joined? Could be wrong, but I feel it was around then. The makeup of Raducanu's team, by the way, has been a topic of much discussion in pretty much throughout her career, but particularly when she wins the US Open and fires Richardson, who was her coach at the time, just a few weeks later. Some slicing and dicing here from Lee. Now it's Raducanu on the defense. Now it's Raducanu on the attack. Raducanu on the attack. Is she going to put this away? No, she's not. She had chances there. Drop shot from Ann Lee. Lovely. Love 15. Okay, Raducanu here serving, love 15. Where are you going to go with this serve? You're going to go down the tee, forehand return into the backhand of Raducanu, and she slices it back. Both players slicing here. Lee looking pretty good on the grass today, I have to say, thus far, even in these early stages. Raducanu on the defense. Now it's Lee on the attack. She doesn't put that away cleanly, but it's okay because Raducanu can't deal with the forehand. And it's love 30 on the Raducanu serve. I'm going to be playing tennis, by the way, shortly. So I'm not sure I'll be able to finish this stream unless I can draft somebody in. But we'll see if I'm successful in that. But I tell you what, Emma Raducanu is not being very successful here. Love 40 now on her serve. So a blistering start thus far from Anne Lee. Raducanu must be thinking, well, if I'm feeling my back and things are not looking great anyway, not a great start. Lovely start though for Anne Lee. Lovely forehand winner there to give her these 3 break points. She saves one of them, does Emma, on her second serve as well. Clouds in Germany. It was a forehand return from Anne Lee. It was a really good chance for the American. She'll be disappointed with that return that went long. But Lee gets the break. 2-love. Great start for the American. Shocking from the Brit. It was on the forehand side there, Emma, or at least initially. Just doing a replay of the point right now. She wasn't able to deal with it on the forehand side, going long. So, 2-love. Over to you, Lee. A lady there with sunglasses on and a hat adorned with the British flag. Chop return from Raducanu. Backhand there, though, from Lee goes into the net. So, Raducanu already making an impression on the American serve here. Chop return there from Raducanu. Forehand there from Lee. Now on the forehand again of the American, but she's gone wide. Love 30. Backhand return from Raducanu. Forehand from Lee. Now it's on the forehand of Emma. Good depth there from Raducanu. Now drop shot from Emma Raducanu. And it's going to be an outright winner. Love 40. Lovely touch there from Emma. Love 40 here. 3 break points from Raducanu. On the defense, though, the attack here from is not going to be an outright winner from Lee, but Raducanu doesn't punish it. So it's 15-40. As we look to Carlos Boluda Perkis, who is the coach of Anne Lee. And another break point has been saved, so it's 30-40. Do let me know in the live chat as to how you see this match panning out. They're both slicing away here right now. And it's ultimately a really good slice from Ann Lee that Raducanu was tricky and the Brit couldn't deal with it. Deuce. 3 break points have come and gone now for Emma. Just going to have to look for some tennis balls. Okay. Lee is held, by the way, 3-love. Wow. We'll take a quick break.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Hit that subscribe button, people, yep. So you don't miss out on all things tennis. Raducanu here, love 3, 15-love on her serve. Goes into the body of Ann Lee. It's a good serve there, bringing up 15-love. Just packing my tennis bag. Let me know what racket and balls you tend to play with. I mean, the balls don't really matter. I've got a mixture of Wilson and Babolat here, but my racket is Babolat. 30-15 Emma Raducanu now on her serve. The point that preceded that, there was a lovely winner from Ann Lee, who really is playing beautifully thus far. So I'm ready to roll. As I say that, she does put an unforced error out, and it's a 2 game points here for Emma Raducanu to get on the board. Just watching the rally for that previous point replayed. It was another unforced error on the forehand side from Ann Lee to give these 2 game points. That gets a round of applause from Mark Petchey. So Raducanu here, love 3, 40-15. And she holds. She's on the board. 1-3. Over to you, Ann Lee. That gets a round of applause from the British crowd. She chased down that drop shot. And by the way, she's turned love 15 into love 30. After a forehand from Ann Lee goes into the net. Lee did save off some break points in the previous game. But she's going to have to do so again, potentially, if she loses the next point. Good serve there from Lee. Now on the forehand side, but Raducanu defends really well. Raducanu is defending well. Now it's Lee on the attack still, but Raducanu did really well at staying this point. What a backhand cross-court winner from the Brit. And she's got 2 break points now to get it back on serve at 15-40. She defended really, really well. And when the chance came to strike, she struck indeed. Chop return there. And the forehand slice from Lee is going to go into the net, and we're back on serve. We're back on serve. 2-3. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, Raducanu to serve. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs,
magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. Raducanu here serving 2-3 against Ann Lee. And now she's up 30 love on her serve. Oh, that was a funny bounce there. Poor Ann Lee. 30 love. Winston-Salem has offered his first main draw wildcard to Stefan Dostanic. There we go. So there's some breaking news for you. Of course, that's not until August, that particular tournament, just on the eve of the US Open. Right now, we're on the eve of Wimbledon, and we'll have the draw for you live on the channel. Oh, Ann Lee, you lucky person there, getting a net cord for 30 all. I can only stay with you until past the hour, so if we're not done by then, I'm afraid we'll have to end the stream, and you'll have to carry on for your own devices. Raducanu, he has a game point, and she takes it. 3 all, 3 games in a row for the Brit. She was down 3 love. Lee playing really beautifully. But now it's Raducanu defending really well at one point in that previous game when she eventually broke, before eventually having the first chance she had to hit a winner, she took it, a backhand cross court. That set up the 2 break points. But Lee as well was struggling with the Raducanu slice on that first break point that ultimately went the way of the Raducanu, and then Raducanu comfortably holds, and the momentum right now very much with the Brit. 3 all. So that's something for Lee to remember. And she does well there with a short ball. 15 love. Oh, she's put that forehand long though. 15 all. Raducanu bouncing up and down, maybe sensing an opportunity right now. The wind is pretty notable. And it is playing a bit of an influence on this match. That first serve is going to miss.
15-30 here. Does feel like the match is turning, much like the weather. Ooh, Raducanu defending here on the slice. Anneli on the forehand. Raducanu tries the pass, but she's going to miss. 30 all. And now with a good serve, she's brought up a game point, has the American. Now it is Juice, though, with Raducanu on the attack, but she puts that back into the net. It's going to be a game point once again for Anneli. Goes down the tee, but she's going to miss that first serve. Do hit that like button, by the way. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. You won't regret it. Backhand slice return there from Raducanu. Lee comes into the net. She's going to have a drive volley here. She doesn't put that away. Raducanu defends it, but that does land out. And Lee holds for 4-3. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll see out the remainder of this first set.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
All things tennis indeed. Raducanu here serving at 3-4, but things looking pretty good for the Brit considering where she was at. She was down 3-love and looking in a bit of trouble at the beginning of this match. But she's fought back. Now they're on serve and she's up 15-love. Do let me know in the live chat your thoughts on this match. Do you see Raducanu emerging the winner? She'll be the winner of this, of course, plays Maya Joint in the next round after Joint shocked Ons Jabeur, double Wimbledon finalist of the past, 22 and 23, Ons. So she was stunned in that first match. And she lies in wait, does Maya Joint, to play the winner of Lee Raducanu. I think that'll be tomorrow, but in the meantime, today, Raducanu is up 30 love after an ace out wide. Now, where are you going with this serve? You're going to go down the tee into the backhand, but it's going to miss. It's going to be a second serve here at 30 love for Annalie to look at. Misplaced ball toss there from Emma. As we see a seagull come across the camera. Raducanu serving here. Backhand return from Annalie goes long and it's 40 love. Three game points for Emma and 4-all. Second serve for Annalie to look at. The population of Eastbourne might not be the youngest in the UK. Lovely forehand return there from Annalie, 40-15. She was playing so well in those first three games. But her form has evaded her since, as Raducanu has also picked up and gained some rhythm. And that rhythm, by the way, in the Eastbourne breeze has helped Emma get to 4-all as we get towards the business end of this first set. Lovely backhand winner there from Emma. That backhand cross court is doing some damage today for Emma. Cool, look at that breeze. Ooh, Annalie coming into the net there. That's nice from the American. $30 love. $30 love soon becomes 40 love, by the way. First serve goes into the net. 3 game points there for the American, but it is a second serve for Raducanu. Return into the forehand of Annalie. It's a forehand winner. That's a nice one from Annalie. So she's just a game away from sealing this first set. I will address your question shortly. We'll take a quick break and then I'll talk about it. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going.
While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
All things tennis. Raducanu here serving at love 15, by the way, after some unbelievable defense from Ann Lee, scampering around the court for that first point. Crucial moments here in this first set. All. We're in the rally right now. Slice here from Lee. Slice from Raducanu. Forehand to forehand right now. Good depth there from Raducanu, but lovely response from Lee. Slice from Lee. Raducanu comes into the net. Does she put that away? She doesn't, not cleanly outright, but she does force the error. Two game points here for Emma Raducanu. 40-15. (40-15) becomes 40-30, which actually soon becomes deuce. Backhand return from Lee, backhand cross court here. Backhand slice from Raducanu there. Forehand to forehand right now. Backhand into the forehand of Raducanu, into the backhand, which is going to be a slice from both players. Lovely forehand cross-court winner there from An Lee to bring up deuce. Nice work, An Lee. 2 points away from winning this first set. But now Raducanu has a game point. After Lee goes long, but we are now back at deuce. This is turning into a bit of an epic game. We've yet to have a set point for Lee. Slice here. Game point again for Raducanu. That was lovely from An Lee, by the way, to get to deuce. Lovely little dink there. Going to have another game point here, though, from Raducanu. This is turning into an epic game in the Eastbourne breeze. Forehand to forehand right now. Oh, Lee's gone long there, which is why we got this game point for Raducanu. It's a big hold for Raducanu. 5-all now. Good serve there from Lee. Decent return, though, from Raducanu. Now it's on the backhand of Emma. Now it's on the backhand again from Emma. Good depth from both players right now, actually. Forehand chance to attack. Emma slips and falls. I think she's okay. She brings herself to her feet. She won't be too happy with that slip, but she is okay. I say so with a particular attention to see how the back is, because that's the injury that has plagued her at various points in her career, but particularly in the last couple of weeks. Forehand here to the forehand of Lee. Forehand is pretty big from Raducanu. It goes into the net. Serve there. Now it's a slice. Backhand from Raducanu. Backhand from Lee. Smash here from lovely smash there from An Lee on the stretch. 3 game points for 6-5. And she holds. She holds, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Serve down the tee there from Raducanu to bring up 15 love. And she's soon raced into a 40 love lead as we look destined for this tie break, which is going to ultimately decide the first set. One or two unforced errors from Anne Lee just creeping into her game. Remember, she did race into a 3 love lead as she was playing some pretty clean tennis at that stage. But it has been difficult for both players to stay clean today in terms of the breeze. (40-15), but we are going to go to that tie break. We are going to go to the tie break. First serve down the tee there from Anne Lee. So Lee here serving at 6-all. That's 6 games all, of course. One love, Anne Lee. Over to you, Emma Raducanu. Love 1 or 0-1. Hi from Ashley. Regarding the channel you can watch this on, depending on which country you're in. Let me know which country you're in and then I can advise. Raducanu here serves out wide. That's good for her because she is down 2-1 in this tie break. Into the rally here, but Raducanu's gone long there. 3-1. Forehand from Raducanu into the forehand of Lee. Exchanging forehands right now, but Lee goes too big on that forehand. It goes long, so it's 3-2, and we are actually back on serve. So another advantage that Lee has had. She has seen come and go. And it's 3-3 at the change of ends. And now the pendulum swinging towards Raducanu. 4-3, she leads. Good serve from the Brit. Wow. She was down a mini break in this tie break. Now that has been rubbed out and she actually leads 4-3, albeit they stay on serve. It's going to be another first serve here, though, for Ann Lee, because that first serve clipped the net. But just remember the advantage which the American had for the first stages of the match as she raced into a 3-love lead. But that came and went. She was then 2 points away from winning the first set, albeit that was all on the Raducanu serve. I see Fergus backstage. I'm going to bring him forward now because this is the tie break.
Hello.
Hey, Fergus. So this match has been sort of mostly against Raducanu in so many ways, in the fact that she was 3-love down. She does get that back, but then Lee is getting very close to winning that first set on the Raducanu serve a couple of games ago. She also has that mini break advantage, but now Raducanu looking good.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, the BBC is hyper slow. So the online scoring that I can see in front of me is about a point ahead of the one I've got on my actual stream. But
what I tend to do is, if that is the case, because actually it's about a point ahead of me as well. I tend to sort of just not. I'm watching the TV really, and my eyes are not on the screen.
Yeah.
They go on the screen in particular, like between games, or if it's just nothing happening, so I can check the live chats. That's what I tend to do. By the way, Zach is going to join you in about 25 minutes, and if it goes to a third set, Mario will join you. I'll stay probably until the end of this tie break, unless it goes on for another 20 minutes.
If it goes on for another 20 minutes, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, especially on grass.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was in. I tell you what, Lee was playing really well at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to look at it at work. I mean, I think it was 20 winners to 9 is what I was looking at. And
really?
Lee puts it away. Yeah, in favor of Lee, and Lee puts it away at the net to make it 5-all. And now it's the biggest point of the set. I've always thought that one of the big weaknesses in Raducanu's game, unfortunately, is her ability to deal with the wind. I've seen it.
Okay, it is really windy today. Really windy, yeah.
Yeah. It's her adapting her game towards the wind, and I just haven't been.
We've got a set point as well now. So from 5-3, and I was like, oh, things are looking much better.
Wow.
She loses 3 points in a row. That was a weird point, that one, in so many ways. I mean,
very weird.
A volley mid-court, which I always think is pretty weird anyway. I'm going to keep my eyes off that screen.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to look at it.
I think you and me are at a similar stage. I'm actually going to talk us through this point as Lee serves here at 6-5. She's got a first serve. As you said, the breeze has been a huge factor, and you think that Raducanu's not strongest in that. It's going to be a second serve here for Raducanu to look at, but it is set point for Anne Lee. Where you're going to go with this serve? You're going to go into the backhand. It's going to be really tricky for Emma, especially as it means changing direction, and she's not able to do so, and Anne Lee wins the first set. What I'm going to do, Fergus, I'm going to play a quick advert, which lasts about 90 seconds. You'll be on your own for the next 20 minutes, but then, as I say, Zach and maybe even Mario will join if it goes 3 sets. I'll keep you entertained in the live chat as well.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
All things tennis indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Fergus will be back with you in a moment. He's just had a couple of technical issues, but he'll be back with you shortly. In the meantime, we've got somebody in the live chat. Well, I'm not quite sure what that means, but interesting. See you shortly. Don't forget to hit the like button and, of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Raducanu is going to start this second set by serving. She will serve into the backhand of Anne Lee. Now she's going to be on her forehand. Forehand to forehand right now. Ooh, that's a lovely shot from Anne Lee, skidding off the grass. Emma looking pretty glum right now, as you'd expect after losing that first set tiebreak. And it's 15 all on the Raducanu serve. It was a really good return that Emma did really well to deal with. But then Lee couldn't pick that ball up. Low bounce. Raducanu forehand shank, 15-30. And Fergus was talking about her issues in the wind. Like a candle in the wind. Forehand return, forehand from Raducanu. That's going to go long. We're going to have 2 break points for Emma Raducanu. Hi, Lexi. Hi, Ashley. Let's go, Emma, says Lexi. And yet, it's a bit of a problem right now. She's got 2 break points here to fend off as Fergus rejoins. Fergus can indeed talk us through the next few games, and Zach will be with us in about 20 minutes. See you soon, Fergus.
Hello. I don't know if that's my camera. Is that my camera? It's making me look very distorted.
You're good. You look fine.
Okay, cool. Well, Lee obviously took the first set, and now looking at a break point for Lee. What a start to the set this would be. Just trying to consolidate that first set. Oh, my phone's playing up now, which is how I'm looking at my stream. So it's going really well. And she does get the break. I didn't even watch the point, but Lee is walking to her chair. So Lee gets the early break for 1-love. Yeah. Lee apparently has been looking very impressive, being able to hit winners from everywhere in the court. But it's it's not exactly how Raducanu would have planned this outing so far. This is that first serve. Yeah, I'm trying to not look at the screen above me because that's it's a couple points ahead of me. Raducanu does put away the second serve of Lee in the first point, but we can see that Lee does win the second point. So it's a return winner. I don't think there have been many of those today from Raducanu, which is usually what she does so well, but yeah, not this time. Yeah, first serve unreturned by Raducanu, which is disappointing for her. But Lee maybe think she can come through this match now. She's must have had a lot of confidence coming through that first set. It was so tight. She obviously trailed in the breaker. I think 5-3. I think, and then won 4 points in a row. Raducanu with sliced forehand, backhand to backhand exchange, and lead does go long. So opening here for Raducanu to break straight back at the beginning of this second set. She's just having a moment to herself at the back of the court. She's either disappointed with the way she's playing right now, Mark Petchy in her box, just talking her through what she should be doing. Apparently she had a slip earlier, but I didn't quite catch that actually. So she might still be feeling some things. Obviously, the back's been an issue for a long time. But yeah, and Lee does double fault. So it will be Raducanu with a couple break points to break straight back. They traded breaks in the first set, and obviously that breaker was the thing that separated them. But Raducanu on break point, and Lee tries a drop shot, which completely fails. In all honesty, she didn't make it to the net. I think came off the frame. So it's 1-1 in this second set. Breaks a piece. Might be one of those matches where a hold is so just one hold feels like a break. But yeah, Raducanu serving at 1-1. See how she gets on. Oh, my camera's fixed itself now and it doesn't look as distorted. That's good. Raducanu with the serve. Lands the first serve and Lee puts the forehand in a great position and Raducanu can't return it, so it goes long. Lee just leaning on the ball a little and it's flying really. I mean, the wind and how quick these grass courts are, how flat you can hit it. It's actually, is it Fran Jones as well sitting in Emma's box? Fran Jones and Mark Pecci, deep in conversation about something, a lot of hand gestures going on. Second serve for Lee to have a look at. It's really hard not to look at the score above, just besides the live chat, because it's it's very tempting, but I'm just trying to keep my eyes on the match. Second serve from Raducanu. Short ball again, and Lee pounces immediately. And we're looking at another break here at love 30. Just too short, and Lee is all over it. First serve from Raducanu into the net, so it'll be another second serve for Lee. She's been stepping into these nicely, actually, so it could be another return winner, but Raducanu does well with the return. That's a big bailout from Raducanu. The drop shot was not good, but she does it with the cross-court pass. Lee would be disappointed she didn't get more on it. Yeah, tough. She doesn't look as fired up as I would usually see Raducanu, I don't think. So, this is a... Don't know if the back's bothering her or what's going on. Excellent return from Lee. Deep into that backhand corner and the backhand slice. No, not the right connection. And it's 2 more break points for Lee to make it 3 breaks at the start of this first set. Lee drags the first one wide. Could exchange it. Lee just trying to go deep into the body, down the middle, and it's causing Raducanu no angles, so she can't hit with any sort of direction and try pull Lee around the court, which is what Lee's been doing to Raducanu. But yeah, first break point saved. Still another one on the cards for Lee to move ahead. Oh, big slice of luck for Raducanu. A dead net cord and second break point is saved. If anyone is in chat, feel free to say hello. If anyone's got any questions, fire them my way. I'm happy to answer anything. Raducanu serving at deuce now after saving those 2 break points. First serve into the net. Looks like that first serve has nowhere near as much not as much power as it usually would. I feel like the wind, she's trying to marginalize it with the wind. And it's Lee's turn to get a big slice of luck with a dead let cord. That's 2 in a row. Saw one yesterday with Dan Evans, where our break point, just complete dead net cord. No chance Kecmanovic could get there, but yeah, the nets at Eastbourne are like this. They're the complete opposite to the US, where they are strung so tightly that it will ping up. Break point for Lee. Serve out wide from Raducanu, and it's into the net from Lee. Good serve. Back to deuce. Big game this for Raducanu's confidence, you feel. No Nick Cavaday in the box. Obviously, Cavaday was going to be around for this grass season. I wonder if we'll see him at Wimbledon. Serve into the body from Raducanu. Unleashes on the forehand. And Lee tries to do the same, but goes long. And it's now advantage Raducanu. Well, she'll be delighted if she comes through this game. 3 break points saved. Put the pressure back on Lee, even though Lee took that first set. Raducanu just trying to thump it into that backhand corner and keep her pinned in. It's a great rally. Oh, and I think Lee puts it wide, and she does. And oh, wow. Great rally. But Lee just forces it wide, and Raducanu gets the hold. That's a big hold for Raducanu. 3 big points, spin and gone for Lee. Anyone notices a slightly different background today, where I usually sit, is not available currently. Yeah, lots of results coming in today. Yeah, I know that Swiatek is playing right now as we speak against Azarenka. Pegula obviously was... Oh, did Pegula win Berlin last year? I feel like she did. But yeah, another good win for Pegula. Paulini hasn't been at her best on the grass this year. Obviously, she was a Wimbledon finalist last year, but she hasn't been at her best on the grass. Obviously, she lost, I think, second round last week in Berlin, which obviously isn't what she would have wanted. Yeah, it's been good. Krejcikova, the Wimbledon champion, came through a bit of a test against Harriet Dart. Dart actually had the break in that third set, but as you see so often, it was Krejcikova that broke and then broke again to keep her in the tournament at Eastbourne. Is this Zach? It might be. I guess we'll find out in about 10 minutes when he loads in. But it will be Anne Lee serving at 1-2. currently just have a blank screen. So we'll see if Zach logs in. Raducanu tries to go big, but goes long off first point, and it's 15 love. I now have 2.
Fergus, how we doing?
Zach, how are we? It's been a long time.
Uh-oh, I am having some audio issues and not hearing you right now. So I am just gonna hop on out and try and pop back in.
No worries.
But I look forward to joining you and the gang for this excellent match of tennis.
I love Zach. He's great. It's been a while since I've been on with Zach, actually. I'm wondering who this anonymous figure above me is. There's a chance it's Mario, but I don't think so. We'll see very soon, I'm sure. 50-0, but it's a good serve from Anne Lee to make it 30-15. Could have very easily sort of taken this game away from this game could have got away from Lee after, the loss of that last game after having 3 break points. She would have felt a little disappointed. But, assuming that she's still got the confidence. Yes, that makes sense. Thank you, producer. Raducanu trying to go. Oh, she'll be really disappointed with that. That is very un-Raducanu. Like, such a big backhand, trying to take Lee out the court and then misses the forehand, which was the easier of the 2. Zach, how are we doing? I now can't hear Zach, unfortunately. I don't know if he's muted or if it's me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hello.
Hey, I am a little bit under the weather, so my brain is not working today. So the tech issues might be human error. But this is going to be a great match. A lot of winners, hopefully. I'm personally more in favor of winners than errors. Call me crazy, Fergus.
That's not crazy. That's just fact, right? Everyone wants to see winners. No one wants to see errors, right?
More and more people are calling me Kit Dr. Zach. I hear that. I walk down the street and people are like, "Oh, Kit Dr. Zach." What do we think of the kits on display today? Do we approve? Do we like the style?
I like Raducanu's. I think the maroon's a really nice color. But Lee's is quite boring. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's quite beige, and it's okay. But yeah, it's not exactly mind blowing.
Little insider info here: Raducanu will not wear the same outfit at Wimbledon.
Thank you for that. That is big info right there.
Breaking news, right?
You said that. That is huge news. I was actually thinking she'll be the first person to wear maroon. Wimbledon ever.
I do like the cut. I agree, by the way, with Lee's outfit. Like, you could get that at any department store in America, and it might be a different brand, but like, people get paid a lot of money to be creative, and to see them just choose not to, or their bosses stifle that creativity, I find vaguely offensive, as Lee hits a very nice winner off of a very weak drop shot attempt from Raducanu.
You are at least a point ahead of me. So we'll
golly.
Yeah, and I unfortunately it's just that the BBC is ridiculously slow when it comes to streaming their matches. They're always solid.
Once great empire kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of the BBC,
that's not going to cut it. Yes.
I'm at the start of the 30-15 point. Let's sync up. Just say press go when you're ready.
Okay. There. Cool. Just Raducanu's just dealing with which ball she's going to use, and I reckon you're good to go probably about now.
Boom.
Excellent.
Oh my.
We were talking about, you talked about weak drop shots, and then that one's a lot better, right?
Yeah, with a little bit of side spin just to add some little mustard to it.
Absolutely, that was great.
Oh, Fergus, would you say that you're rocking the center cut?
No, Sinner's rocking my haircut. That's the
when you go to the barbershop, do you walk in? Like, what do you ask for when you walk in? Is it the Yannick Center or is it something else?
I asked for the usual, unfortunately, because I'm the creator of this haircut. I'm really not.
Cedric, we appreciate the question, but yes, I think from here on out, it's gonna have to be the Fergus.
I just don't think it's. Sinner doesn't have this haircut, right? It's more like, I don't know. Sinner's is more curly. It's also more ginger.
As we've got a break point here. Raducanu serving 30-40. Let's see if she can get back on track.
It's her third service game in a row that we will have had break points. Obviously, Anneli broke at the start of this set, and Raducanu broke straight back. It's a bit of a... Oh, yeah. Just long from Anneli on the return.
I love the hotel planner advertisement because I recognize that as a company and not a title or a side hustle for Lee, but it looks like she's wearing a name tag that lets you know she is a hotel planner.
Yeah, she's
in addition to a pro tennis player.
You know, like you walk into like a building site and she's like got the badge hotel planner. Yeah.
And so set the stage for us on this Deuce Point. What are the court conditions like? Because in the States right now, it's a bit warm.
Windy. It's windy. And unfortunately, I feel like that only plays in favor of Lee. Raducanu, I think I've seen at least 4 or 5 times where she's really struggled to adapt to the wind.
Yeah.
And you know, it's always windy at Eastbourne. Always. It's by the beach in Brighton. So yeah, but you know, there was that match against Pegula last year where, you know, she somehow managed to come through. She lost the first set 6-4, then won the breaker after saving a match point, and it was super windy the entire day. And she managed to come through, but that was the biggest memory I have of Raducanu winning on a day where it was super duper windy.
Ooh, a very, very strong overhead there from Lee.
Yeah,
that's a tough ball. That mid-court overhead. Little easier on grass with the faster surface, but you know, once the brain starts thinking, you're in trouble, and you have time to think on that ball.
Absolutely, huge win for Tomic.
Oh yeah,
Hichikata, first tour level win since 2021. Wow,
is that the record for time between tour level wins? 1,597 days. I cannot think of. I mean. When Borg came back, did he get a win?
I think it's got to be up there, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's just that his story is kind of crazy, right? How it's like, you know, had a lack of motivation. Raducanu just disputing a call here, thought it was out, but Lee nets anyway, so it's okay.
It looked a touch long on my screen.
It did look out from here, but obviously we're watching on TV. We're not there on the baseline, so it's a little easy to see. Yeah, obviously lack of motivation. Obviously had so much potential, and was, you know, firing on all cylinders, and then kind of gave it down. But I think there was an interview with some guys about why his motivations sort of come back, and he played the Challenger circuit, and he's still, you know, grinding it out. And yeah, I mean, that's the reward, right?
I can tell you right now, it's hard to make as much money as you do if you're a top 100 tennis player doing basically anything else.
Yeah.
And once you start to get to those late 20s, early 30s, and your brain is done forming, and you're like, oh wow, I got like bills and daycare and like stuff and like life responsibilities.
Yeah.
It gets a little easier to find that motivation.
Absolutely.
Kyrgios being the exception that seemingly proves the rule.
Yes.
But he seems to have found other revenue streams. Raducanu with a nice hold there. Have we addressed the BBC Kyrgios controversy?
Or
so-called controversy?
I mean, I just think I'm not a fan of Nick Kyrgios, but I think he's I don't know. I think he just says a lot of stuff that he might mean, but it's not exactly like mind-boggling to me. I don't think that him not commentating for the BBC was something that's going to change the scale of Wimbledon coverage. But yeah, and then he drew in Eubanks, and Eubanks isn't even working for them.
I know.
So
I'm a reformed Kyrgios fan in that, like, I liked him and defended him for a long time until I watched Breakpoint, and I saw the pride and almost joy he took and how little effort he put forth. And I just like, hey, if you don't like something, that's okay to not do it, but like, don't pat yourself on the back for not trying. It just is like kind of fundamentally incompatible with what I think like an effort to be a good person entails. And so, I think the sport will be completely fine with him if he goes and does something different. I don't think he's that good of a commentator.
I think
I'd rather be Kirill or Eubanks or any number of other Andy Roddick, even McEnroe. I'd rather it be than Kyrgios at this point.
No, all right, I draw the line at McEnroe. Sorry, no. I cannot listen.
You would rank Kyrgios above McEnroe in the
only just, but I cannot listen to McEnroe give me the same take from 45 years ago. Yeah, sorry.
You've been around then, so you've only had to listen to it for like 20 years ish.
McEnroe, I feel as though there's one level, and it doesn't deviate. There's no change, and there's no like opinion, thought process that changes for McEnroe. At least Kyrgios adds a bit of humor to
a near miss or a miss there from Lee for a double to take us to 15 all. Couple updates the producer was kind enough to share with us. Magda Linette retired at 2-4, 40 all in set 2 against Yastremska. Was hampered by the knee, clearly moving.
They played last week in Nottingham in the semi-finals, so that's twice in 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure Yastremska won that one. Third, I think.
Sindikova also struggling physically, didn't retire, but had a long medical timeout for the leg injury and a loss to Pegula. Yeah, we're just in that time of year, It's I mean, look, it's going to be 103 degrees Fahrenheit where I live in Durham, North Carolina tomorrow. It's going to be a mere 99 today. And, the UK is not going to get quite that hot, but there's no air conditioning anywhere there. So it's tough to stay cool.
No, you guys say there isn't air conditioning here because you guys air condition the living daylights out of everything.
Our definition of air conditioning is a little different. Yeah, like if you're not, if you don't feel like you're hugging an iceberg, there's no air conditioning.
You guys aren't cool if you guys aren't like -3 degrees. Like, yeah.
I mean, look, if you can't wear a jacket indoors, you don't have air conditioning on.
It's
very simple.
Why would you want to wear a jacket inside? 30 all, Raducanu with a deep return.
Oh, interesting point there.
Oh, I think it's just wide from Lee. Yeah, it is. It's just wide from Lee. The drop shot just good enough, and we have a break point for Raducanu.
I mean, we've seen the full range of droppers from Raducanu. We've seen a bad one, a just good enough one, and a very good one.
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity, though, from Lee. That was a very much a winnable point.
She just overcooked it.
Yeah. Who amongst us?
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't have even got that over the net, so it's okay. I would have tried too hard to hit too much of an insane like cross-court redropper and got it all wrong.
Backhand exchange. Nice slice from Lee. Okay, extend a rally here. And then Lee puts it in the net on a very makeable ball. You hate to see it.
That is the first fist bump I've seen from Raducanu all day, and from someone that fist bumps a lot. That's not very well. I mean, it's nice to see that she's finally done it, but that's a little concerning that she's only just feeling like she's making any progress.
Look at the crowd. You'll see quite a few jumpers quite a few tracksuits, and yet I didn't see a single Oasis Adidas collaboration, which has just been released in honor of the cultural event of the century, the Oasis reunion, which is happening soon.
Yeah, it is, but no shocks if they get on stage, play a song, and then have a fight and get off stage.
I know, man. So I'm supposed to see them in Chicago in like late August. There's a lot of time for them to get addicted to
have a fight,
or have a fight, which they seem to do every time they go on tour.
Good lob from Raducanu for 15 love there.
Very nice. It looks so easy when the pros do it, and I think anybody who's ever played recreational tennis can say that's one of the hardest shots. I mean, a pickup on the backhand side with topspin over a professional caliber athlete, that is unbelievable touch from Raducanu.
Yeah, excellent. Don't get much better than that.
Very nice first serve out wide.
Lovely serve.
Would you call that an unreturnable? I feel like that's right on the cusp of unreturnable.
No, it's not unreturned. Like, it's an unreturned serve.
Yes.
Like, in quotes, but like, it's just hard to deal with that sort of, like, when it's coming at you with that sort of, you know, spin and velocity, it's hard to then hit that chip return without, you know, feeling as though you're going to send it long. Trying to control the chip return.
Am I seeing correctly that the serve speed is in miles per hour here?
Yes, it is.
Where is Eastbourne again?
In the UK.
Did something happen? Like when with Brexit, like I thought that there would be kilometers used as the metric.
No,
here.
you guys are so... We never use KPH.
Really?
No.
Oh, look at this cross-cultural exchange.
That's you guys.
No, we use miles per hour. We're like we like to buck the system, so I guess we buck together.
No,
in the special transatlantic relationship.
This is MPH, 100%.
Okay. I did not know. Hey, if you're in the chat and you just learned something new like I did, that the UK uses miles per hour, jump in. If you already knew that, feel free to call me a dummy.
Yeah, feel free to just attack Zach for no reason.
We actually request ad hominem attacks throughout the show just to spice things up a little bit.
Just to keep us on our toes.
Let's just do a roast as we are 30 all.
We're sitting at 30 all. Here, Raducanu was 30 love up, and a couple of big strikes from Lee. Oh, and Raducanu goes into the net, and it'll be break back point for Lee.
She definitely maybe wishes she had that shot back. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely, and I would have expected her to have made that. That's one of her favorite shots, forehand down the line. You see her make it time and time and time again, but now it's break back point. We'll see what she can conjure up. It's another service game where Raducanu has to deal with a break point. Lands the first serve, goes big off the forehand, and Lee goes long off the backhand.
She's electric, and I'll tell you this much: not going to look back in anger after that point from Raducanu.
Thank you for that. Your time is up, Zach. That's terrible. Please.
I'm pleased that you know these Oasis songs. This is all before your time.
Classic. As soon as you said,
yeah,
I was like, right. Well, he's trying to like be cool with an Oasis reference right now.
I thought I would get a few more.
Before I noticed? No.
Yeah, I look. You know, this was all again. I think pre-birth for you for when they were in their prime. Yeah. What was the birth year, Fergus? Give us that. And your mother's maiden name too.
Year is 2005.
2005. Yeah, I don't know that they put out a ton of great stuff after that. As we've got a break point here, Raducanu serving.
Lee to break back.
Great return from Lee.
Lands the first serve. Yeah, it's a very good return from Lee.
An interesting choice on that forehand slice.
And then goes to the backhand slice.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good.
That's an unbelievable volley.
That's a great volley.
That's a tough ball.
Excellent volley. Not much you can do with that if you're Raducanu.
Yep. I mean, look, that's how you get back into the match, right? Little by little.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that volley, it was pretty clear that she was a force of nature on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That was excellent.
Yeah. This forehand slice attempt, I know that it worked. I just I don't think that any coach in the world would say from that position, that is the ball that you want to hit. That being said, this is grass, right? It's a little different. It's just that, like, on hard and clay, never. On grass, maybe. What do you think, Fergus?
Forehand slice is lethal. I think it's underused. It's underpronounced, in my opinion. Okay. So I really like it. Maybe that's because I use it a lot on the slice.
Okay.
I use it a lot in my game. But yeah, I think it's especially on grass. I think it's underused. But
I think you're probably right on grass. There are certain hard courts where the slice in general could be better utilized. On clay, I think probably appropriately so.
Yeah, I agree.
I do feel like we're seeing this on both sides, in the ATP and WTA. We're seeing a bit more creativity. There was this stretch in the 2000s where there was this hand-wringing about serve bots ruining the game and being boring. Then it was the power baseliners just, kind of bashing it away at it, back and forth. And I really don't see a ton of discourse around that now. And I think it's because there's so much variety on both tours. And I feel like it's a really great time to be a tennis fan. There's some consternation about what a post Big Three world was going to look like. And the answer is rad. It's great.
Yeah.
Some say even better. And I would be one of them. Do you concur?
Think tennis is in a better state right now than it was with the Big Three?
Yes. I would say less because the Big Three, more because post-pandemic, there's been a massive global surge in tennis participation. So it's not really because of the players, but like the conditions are such where more people are watching and playing tennis than at any previous point. The pipeline of players is so deep globally. And the quality of tennis is every bit as good as it was, if not better, during the Big Three era.
Okay. Well, I actually agree that now we have we have better opportunities for tennis to succeed and grow. Just Raducanu really not looking 100% at all. She just doesn't look fully fighting, ready to go. 30-15 chip return from Raducanu. And that is horror of a forehand right there from Lee for 30-all. But yeah, she just doesn't look completely with it. But she's just going to keep going, see what comes. 30-all. Another chance here, I guess. Let for serve. I mean, I think I'm actually curious, which one of does Sinner remind you more of Federer or Djokovic?
Now that is an interesting question, and I actually I lean towards Djokovic. I think that when I look at Federer, there was a creativity to his game that actually, while the play styles are very different, I think there's a through line from him to Alcaraz, right? When I look at Sinner, I think that he has mastered the essentials in tennis. Like he is as comfortable in a rally as any player we've seen, other than maybe Djokovic and Nadal, right? And I don't think that the thing that he beats you with is vision. It is just doing the little things better than everybody else, and maybe better than anybody else has ever done them. I think that's what makes it such a compelling matchup with Alcaraz. Sinner plays with his head, Alcaraz plays with his heart. And so thus, I think I'm going to stick with the Djokovic comparison. I don't know that Sinner's got the same level of like, I'm going to look myself in the mirror and say, I'm not losing this match. I didn't go through everything that I went through to lose this match, and then being able to go out and win it the way that Djokovic can. But I'm not sure that he needs to. He's so good.
No, breakpoint goes been and gone for Raducanu. Back to juice. Lee misses the first serve. Second serve. Raducanu steps in, takes it early, and Lee dumps it into the net, and it's another break point for Raducanu. Well, it's been an interesting match so far. I guess copycat and Alcaraz, great and best.
Forgive me for one. I need to step out for one moment here as
Not a
Raducanu
problem.
has another break point, and obviously I'm going to wait until that happens. As the seagull goes by and Raducanu hits a winner. And
Yeah,
this, I will be right back.
Cross court winner. That's lovely, and it's 5-3. Does him eating a bunch of carrots help? You know, probably actually. Like, what is it's the new thing's pickle juice? All the guys are drinking pickle juice to like in between games, and it's like how they, you know, have a burst of energy or like reset their muscles in a sense, I think. Just a quick, just looking at some matches going on currently. Siontek did the first set against Azarenka 6-4. Brooksby is 7-6, 5-3 up against Comensana. Borges is currently 4-6, 6-3, 4-1 up against Pennington Jones, but Pennington Jones has a break point. Greek Sports a set up against Quinn. Diallo break up against Gier. Raducanu obviously playing Lee right now. And there's a lot of results in Wimbledon qualifying, and I cannot go over all of them. So, yeah. But for the one, I guess, that kind of everyone is looking at, am I dreaming that Boisson played today? That's what she did. Boisson did lose today in the first round of qualifying for Wimbledon. That is why she wasn't given a wildcard into the main draw event, I guess. Such little grass court experience. And I think that was also my opinion that she shouldn't have been given a wildcard into Wimbledon because she has such little grass court experience, right? I mean, yeah, it would have been a great story for her to have a wild card, but you know, your likelihood is that with someone with such little experience, she, you know, wouldn't have made that much of an impact as a wild card. I know a lot of wild cards, you could say the same thing, but at least the British wild cards that have been handed out have grass court experience, right? So yeah, for me, it was the right call not to give her one. I don't know if that's unpopular, but yeah, Raducanu's 30-15 up serving for this second set. It's been up and down level wise, but I think at this point what Raducanu needs to do is get out of this set and, you know, maybe go for a bathroom break, even if she needs a medical timeout because she clearly doesn't look 100%, and then get ready for set 3. First serve into the net, so it'll be a second serve. I'll be surprised if Lee doesn't step in on this. Really trying not to look at the score on the screen. Oh, that's a good serve. Good second serve. Can Draper win Wimbledon, in my opinion? Listen, if everything goes to plan and Draper gets to the semis and he has Sinner instead of Alcaraz, then I think there's a chance.
Be honest.
Really?
I mean, I think that in the course of his career, Draper can win Wimbledon. This year, no chance. There are 3.5 players on a different level than everyone else.
Pause you right there. Sorry. Gonna pause you right there. Raducanu does take the second set 6-3.
Okay.
Lee putting a chip return into the net. And it is Raducanu who takes the second set. Now continue, Zach, with your opinion.
Yeah. So
3.5 players, did you just say?
Yeah, there's 3.5. So there's Alcaraz and Sinner who are on their own planet. Djokovic, like, look, if you want to count him out and say he's not going to win another, that's your business. That's silly. He's proven too many people wrong too many times to say that he doesn't have one more in him. So those are 3. The greatest player in the history of the sport never to win a major is unquestionably Zverev. Zverev as a guy wouldn't want to hang out with him. Look, I don't care for him, but like the stats are undeniable. He surpassed Dinara Safina as the best player to never win a major years ago, right? So Zverev is the half, and that like he is better than everybody not named those
He's
three.
not. He
is. He absolutely is. Now on grass, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, right?
Yeah,
but,
no. We're talking about Wimbledon. We're not talking about another slam.
But we're talking about slams. And so those are the three and a half.
Never made the quarterfinals of Wimbledon.
Those are the 3.5 players that realistically can win a major this year. And anybody not named one of them, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Draper has no shot at this year's Wimbledon. Maybe in a year or two, we'll see some growth in his game. Maybe he'll train in Florida or Las Vegas and be able to play through heat.
Okay, there are so many things.
There's so much. I just gave you so much. I'm sorry, Fergus.
There's so much I can say right now. Right, first of all, I mean, Zverev will never win a slam. That is it. Done. Like,
so your glass half empty on Zverev as the half player.
It's not even half empty. It's just empty. It's completely empty.
Okay.
He will never. Full stop. Especially Wimbledon, and he's never made the quarters of Wimbledon ever in his whole career. So the fact that you think 3.5 is crazy to me.
Don't make me defend Zverev. Please don't make me defend Zverev. I don't want to. I don't like him. But okay. His resume could not be more clear.
No. He is for sure the greatest player to have never won a slam. But that does not mean that he will win a slam.
True.
Yeah. No doubt in my mind, Zverev is this year. I mean, he's been joint third best player on the tour. I was talking about this with Damien.
Yeah.
Joint third best player on the tour this year. Yeah, I think you cannot say that Zverev has a chance at Wimbledon this year. I think in my power rankings, I put him at like 9. I think there are at least 10 guys I could name that have a bet. Bublik has more of a chance of winning Wimbledon than Zverev.
Oh, that's such a good take. That's a great. Can we see the betting odds on Bublik versus Zverev at Wimbledon? Is that a thing that we can get on the screen?
If you're a betting man, I'm not a betting man. I never have.
Good
never
man.
Will.
Don't be. It's destroying a generation or two. It's a horrific habit that should be taxed at a higher rate and more difficult to do.
Big time. Bublik has more of a chance of winning Wimbledon than Zverev does, 100% in my mind.
Okay.
Draper playing in heat. Draper has become a lot better at playing in heat than he was this time last year. Obviously, when he was sick on court against Sinner. I think that was actually, it was nerves more than it was heat exhaustion, actually. So that's a different question. But you're telling me it wasn't hot in Indian Wells, it wasn't hot in Madrid, or, he's played big events and he's made deep runs, and he's he won Indian Wells.
Were those 5 sets?
In a 5-setter?
5 sets is different, man. And fitness is just different. A different. It's why the big three, did so well at the majors. There is a difference, right? And I think that we just haven't seen Draper's ability to hold up over a 2-week tournament at the level that we need to feel like he can actually get it done. I'm looking at the betting odds, by the way. So Draper is the 4th pick according to the
which is right.
Vegas Insider, and Zverev is number 6. So they're
6, really?
I'm sorry, Zverev's number 5. So basically, it's Alcaraz, Sinner 1, 2.
That's
pretty
crazy.
Close to even. Then it's Djokovic at 450, Draper at 1,000, Zverev at 1,200, and then everybody else is way behind that. Medvedev is plus 2,500. I'm not seeing Lerner Tien on here, and I think that's a mistake. I would say that Lerner Tien has an equal chance of Draper as winning Wimbledon, because it is 0 for both of them.
I feel like that's a bit ridiculous to say.
It's not ridiculous.
I think it is.
That. Yeah,
I think it is. I think it's ridiculous to say that. Draper has 0 chance of winning Wimbledon.
Well, so okay, let's game it out as we're at deuce here. We're early in the set. Let's game this out.
Give you some examples, right?
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay. Alcaraz last year, US Open, lost second round. Maybe the biggest shock like in at least 3-4 years.
Yeah.
In straights as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, sorry, that forehand by Raducanu.
Oh my word, that is that's rather huge.
We've got a break point. I'm not going to drop this thread, but let's tune in for this break point and then educate me. Yeah. Learn me, if you will, if y'all are familiar with that.
Oh my god, is that a learn a TN pun? Because if that is,
it is not. That's like an American South, like the old dialect, more than a learn a TN pun, but it maybe works for both.
Break
good on
point.
Raducanu for getting that ball back, but yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, it's too big. Okay, back to Juice. What was I saying? Yeah, 0. Yeah. Like
you're talking about Alcaraz losing early in the second.
Alcaraz is playing a lot better than he was this time last year. Well, actually, he is playing a lot better than he was this time last year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is saying that Alcaraz won't lose second round like he did at the US Open? Obviously, that won't happen, but like it's not like unseen that he's lost early in a slam, even at this point in his career. Obviously that won't happen, and I'm not saying it will, but he's been beaten in 5 sets before, right? At a place where he's already won that major before. I'm just thinking, you saying that if you're telling me that if Draper and Alcaraz play in the semifinals, that you're thinking it's going to be like 2-2 and 3 to Alcaraz.
I think Alcaraz wins in 4, at most. Yeah, I think Zverev. I think Alcaraz and Sinner are that good. I think that I cannot bring myself to discount Djokovic, and I think that there's everybody else. Bublik is. I do think the Bublik over Zverev take is the best one that I've heard on the stream. I couldn't agree more.
It's not a hot take. It's not a hot take.
I mean, according to the people whose profession is making odds, it's an extremely hot take.
Anyone that's not taking that bet, you're silly.
And this is legally binding betting advice from Fergus.
Medvedev has a better chance of winning Wimbledon than Zverev. Like
again, the odds makers would disagree with that take.
Musetti, Rune, all of these guys have better chance of winning Wimbledon than Zverev.
How do you feel How do you feel about Nick Kyrgios having better odds to win Wimbledon in singles this year, right now, than Ben Shelton? Do you think that's the current?
Struggling because Kyrgios is not playing Wimbledon.
Yeah, so that's unlikely then, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely. Yeah, I'd say so.
As we're back to Deuce. By the way, Bublik is plus 8,000. They're saying that Zverev is about 7 times more likely to win.
That's crazy.
Bublik. That's actually a great. That's not this is why betting is bad. I'm like, I should put $1 on that. I should think about that. Ooh, did that hit? Did that hit from Lee? Or just wide? Just wide off the net.
Wide,
yep.
Bublik and Zverev have the same best result at Wimbledon, which is round 4.
Lexi asks if why we don't like Zverev. I actually, I'll leave the personal stuff out of it. I find his game to be very dull. I find it completely lacking creativity and inspiration. I think that it's a style that is designed to get you to the quarters and semis over and over and over again. But I think I agree with Fergus that he probably will not win a major because he doesn't have the confidence and the ability to force the action in big moments. And Alcaraz is like the polar opposite. And a great example of it, Alcaraz has the courage to go for a shot as Raducanu starts the set off with a break.
That was a great return, a fantastic return. And then the wind sort of just helping out Raducanu and taking the ball away from the lead there. Yeah, I agree with exactly what Zach's saying. Zverev's game is dull.
Yeah.
It lacks creativity as a person. He has no real factors that draw me into his matches. I don't look at Zverev in the draw and think, I'm really looking forward to that Zverev match, because I'm just not.
I sometimes do, because I think like if he's playing one of my faves like Fonseca or Lerner TN or young guys, I'm like, I want to watch that because he could get beat, and that would
that's completely different. But like, I was at Wimbledon last year, the day he played Giron on court 1, and I had court 1 tickets and I outwardly did not watch that match. I went and watched another court because I did not want to watch Giron Zverev.
Yeah.
I actually went to watch Fernandez Azarenka.
Oh, that's a good match.
No, Fernandez Wozniacki, actually.
Very nice serve from Raducanu here to start off her first service game and finishes it up with a nice backhand winner at the line. If you're Lee, you have to be wondering where did it all go wrong at this point.
Hold on. Do not say that because the chances that will be the last break of the match are like in my head about 1%. Like there is like a 1% chance that was the last break of this match.
I mean, on grass, I guess it is windy, but it is on grass. We'll see. We shall see.
We shall.
Look at that slice. That's a beautiful slice.
So that's an excellent point from Lee.
Yeah.
Very good grass court point. Yeah. What was I saying? Anyway, I think Draper has. I'm not like saying Draper has like a 30% chance to win Wimbledon. I think Draper has like a 7% chance of Wimbledon.
You refuse to make it a binary. Yes.
I refuse to think that Draper has 0 because technically anyone in the draw has a chance, right?
Yeah, that's true. As we all remember, Goran Ivanisevic's run in 2001, the greatest run of a wild card other than, I guess Raducanu wasn't a wild card. She was a qualifier.
No, she was quite. Yeah, actually,
that's right.
Like,
it's the greatest run ever.
You're telling me that when Raducanu turned up to qualifying for the US Open, people were like, you know what? She could win it. Like, no. They obviously watched her first round of qualifying. They did not think, you know what, she could actually win this.
So you think that Draper has comparable chances of winning?
I think
Wimbledon
he has
as Raducanu did.
10% chance. I think it's then like 20% Djokovic, and then it's 40% Alcaraz, 30% Sinner.
I think it's like 45 Alcaraz, 45. Maybe 40 Sinner, 15 Djokovic. You know what? We'll make Djokovic 14, and then we'll say 1% the field.
The field.
Yeah, the field. And I would put Draper in the field.
I would hope so. I think he's supposed to be playing.
I'm not going to back down from that. I am prepared to put Draper in the field in my odds making.
Raducanu holds. That's probably her easiest hold in about a set and a half.
Is she back? Like, would we say like? Do we feel like she's kind of finding her groove?
What do you mean by back? I've had this conversation like 15 million times.
Okay, so we've talked about the men's side of the draw. What do you put Raducanu's odds at winning first Wimbledon and then the US Open?
I mean, where do you
at least as good as Draper for me?
You think Raducanu has as much chance of winning Wimbledon as Draper does?
Yes.
That is
a reflection of my views on Draper's odds winning, not Raducanu's. Yeah.
I'm concerned how much of Draper you've watched in the last 6 months.
I just don't think he holds up over a 2-week tournament in a best of 5 format. I think in July.
Didn't he
I just don't see it.
Semifinals of the US last year.
He did. That's two more wins. Takes an awful lot, especially considering who he's got to play against. Potentially. We don't know. You're right. It could be.
I actually think it would have been a better final if it was Draper Sinner instead of Fritz Sinner. Oh my god.
Raducanu looks like kind of sprayed that backhand there. That was a relatively sloppy miss.
I'd like to ask the producer a question. Is Mario joining us? No pressure, just a general question. No,
the audience. Fergus is sick of my BS already and needs backup to confirm that I'm talking nonsense.
No, absolutely not. I was just promised an appearance for Mario, and it's been a long time since I've seen Mario. So, what was I going to say?
I think you're going to say that you're on Team Putin-Seva. Yeah, who's that?
I am most definitely not on Team Putin-Seva.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah.
I'm absolutely not on Team Putin-Seva. I think who was it, Nick, that said like anyone in the top 100 could maybe win Wimbledon just for like actually it's that open.
Well, because
I don't think it's that open, but
I mean, I feel like the Iga Although Iga's not having a great year, so maybe we take her. At least we bump her down the list. But Sabalenka and Coco, between the two of them, I feel like that's like, I don't know, 70% chance of one of them wins.
I think Goff,
higher.
Keys, and Sabalenka are probably my best three right now.
Yeah.
I actually think Coco, because she has that confidence probably going in, even though she lost in Berlin last week, she lost like kind of heavily in straights to Wang. I still think that like the confidence she has from Roland Garros, that she's one of the favorites, right?
I'm looking at the betting odds, which again, you should only look at these to get like the perception of the industry. Do not bet. It's not a good thing to do.
This is entertaining because you're giving me the betting odds and then I'm just like shooting them down. Great.
This is how Gambler Gavins get started. So Sabalenka is plus 333. Swiatek is plus 500. Raducanu is plus 500. Goff is plus 900. Andreeva is also plus 900. And then everybody else is kind of trailing behind with Krejcikova then at plus 1600. I would not have put Babs at number 6 and most likely to win.
I would not put Fiontek at second.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't think that these odds makers are watching a ton of tennis.
No,
would you take that bet? I would just be like, oh,
what? Put money on Fiontek to win Wimbledon? Absolutely not. No way.
I mean, they've got Muchova above Ons Jabeur. They got Pagula over Qinwen Zhang.
I don't mind that. I think Swiatek is. I mean, she could surprise everyone and win it, and what a result that would be for her. But no, I just don't see it. I just think there are other players with better grass court pedigree and more, more willingness to thrive on the surface than Swiatek. And Swiatek makes the quarters, and she's got like a chance of a run in. Then maybe I always think if you're an underdog and you get to the final, you have a chance of winning, no matter what's happened before. You have a chance of winning because on that day your opponent could be feeling ill, they could be having major nerves, they could just start missing everything, and you could just start absolutely crushing the ball. Like, final is a completely different proposition. It's as much as I love Madison Keys, I actually had zero hope in her winning the Australian Open final, and she did. So what do we think of Mimi Zhu? Love Mimi Zhu.
Fergus, tell us, for those of us who maybe are a little less familiar, why that is. What do you enjoy about her game and her play style and all that good stuff?
So she is a 17-year-old from Wales. She has been playing some excellent grass court tennis this season. She's kind of having a breakout year. She got her first major or WTA win last week in Nottingham.
Would you call her the Gareth Bale of Welsh women's tennis?
I guess so, but I just don't think there's been that much Welsh prodigies from tennis's perspective to say that. So, maybe in 5-10 years time, but for the moment we're still, the jury's still out.
Yeah.
I think she's got a great forehand. She's got a good defensive abilities. Actually, I really like how she sticks in the rallies. Her backhand slice is really nice, especially on the grass, which obviously suits it. She's just great to watch, actually. And she lost. Who did she lose to last week? She lost to Lynette last week, 7-5, 6-2, which losing to the world number 32, 7-5, 6-2 as a 17-year-old. That's not exactly that's not exactly a beatdown. So she has a wild card into Wimbledon this year.
Sorry to jump in. That's just a bad. I mean, every double's a bad double. That's a bad double.
It's a bad double. I will give you that.
30 all as she hopes to continue to press the advantage here.
No Fran Jones in the box anymore. I wonder where she went. But she's got a wild card into Wimbledon, and I feel like she can take a lot of confidence that she can actually maybe, with a half decent draw, make a result, like get a win, maybe even maybe 2, depending on her draw. But yeah, she'll definitely make it competitive. And yeah, she's a great competitor on court. And I'm super glad that this year Wimbledon have strived more towards youth more than experience. It's good to see, Wimbledon kind of taking that step in the other direction than they did in previous years gone by.
I'm with you on that, Fergus. I think that we should actually do, and it's going to sound like I'm kidding, but I'm not, a little bit of light hostility to the elderly that cling to their jobs and their roles and don't make way for younger people. And if they won't step aside gracefully, we should push them out. And so I would like to see more tournaments do the same thing where, look, if somebody's 37 years old and they want to play, go to qualies. You've had your chance. I absolutely want to see more 17-year-olds, more 20-year-olds who are looking for a big break, because I think that's better for tennis in the long term. Those old guys, they can go do an exhibition and make plenty of money. They're fine. Like they don't need it. These kids, they need that break. They need that opportunity. And there's such an Eastern European bias. Western European bias in the wild card system that I'd like to see them take a bit more of an international approach as well.
I think I was having this debate on Twitter the other day that the way that they hand out wild cards at Grand Slams, I think it's like, I don't really have a problem with it. I think the French are probably the most prone for this on like not handing out wild cards to anyone that isn't French.
Very French, by the way, of them.
Yeah. And Wimbledon have done it this year. I think they've handed out one wild card that isn't British. But yeah, I think I'm fine with how they do it. But what I don't agree with is how they do it in like Madrid, where they just hand out wild cards just like to whoever. Yeah. Like you can tell, like, no one will ever convince me that giving Darwin Blanche that wild card 2 years ago was a good idea. Like no one will ever convince me that was a good idea. The kid's 16 and draws Rafa first round, you're obviously going to get absolutely smacked.
Sometimes you can get too much too early. Like you want to make sure, like as you're giving out these wild cards, you want to make sure you're putting somebody in a position to succeed. Yeah. And I agree with you. I think that Darwin Blanche, needed at least another year before that kind of thing started happening.
Absolutely.
Fun player to watch. Good follow on Instagram too.
No. I'm not here to spread Darwin Blanche hate. Absolutely not. Like, I'm here to say that was a terrible idea. Whoever thought, like, the kid's 16. He's not even fully developed. Like, his body.
I'm not sure he's shaving, man. Like he's got peach fuzz still.
Like, you can't tell me that was a good idea. Especially how he picked Rafa first round. I mean, that's rough. Yeah. But I mean, what
at the same time, how cool is that? Yeah, that he will probably be the last person from that year forward to have played against Rafa now for forever.
Yeah, exactly.
But it should have been an exhibition. Fly him out as a hitting partner. Do an exhibition if somebody needs to make a little bit extra money.
What was it? Was it 11? It was 11-1, I think.
It was a close 11-1. One of the best I've ever seen from a 16-year-old against Rafa.
I mean, at 16, saying you got a game off Rafa.
Yeah,
that's
definitely made its way into his Hinge or the league profile. Won one game against Rafa Nadal as a 16-year-old.
He's playing like the 15s and 25s out in Monastery and stuff. I think he got a title there earlier this year. He's still super young, and I expect him to kind of like make waves like eventually. But that was a terrible call.
Fergus, you said that we had not seen our last break, and you might be proven correct here.
Break point for Raducanu.
Second serve now too.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. This is going to be a knife to the heart for Lee. Takes the return early, and that is long, and it is 4-1 Raducanu.
Oh. Well, it's not match, but on grass, in all likelihood, Raducanu can pull this off here.
And Raducanu has started serving a lot better. Yeah, actually, this.
I missed the first set. I'd love to hear Fergus. Like, what are you seeing different from Raducanu in sets 2 and now 3 here? You touched on the serve. Any other things jump out?
I was not here first set, unfortunately. I was working.
Oh, what were you working on? We got a changeover here. Yeah.
No, I was just at work. I was
like, what's your day job?
My day job, because I'm still at uni. I just come home and I work in the kitchen.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's not the library.
It's just what I do when I'm not working, as in student working.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
making it happen.
5-6 hours, and then I come back here.
Lexi says that she's going to be split on that, Zach, a moment ago, and I'd like to hear a little bit more from Lexi in the chat. Tell us why you think that. Let's talk about it. We got a changeover. I saw Raducanu enjoying the cooling device, which I think, God, I wish that we had one of those in North Carolina for men's recreational tennis matches. I think it's a little out of the budget, but man, when it's like 99, 103, it would be good.
Just a little out the budget, right? Like
we got people dropping right now. Like every tournament, like hospital, like ambulance is showing up, and it costs a little bit more here to take that ride to the hospital. So take care of yourself if you're playing these next couple days in the States.
I would just like to give a little bit of a shout out to Jack Pennington Jones, who gave Nuno Borges a run for his money actually today.
If I was writing a work of fiction about a British men's tennis player, Jack Pennington Jones would be like the perfect name for like a fictional British tennis player. I guess it's a real name too.
It most definitely is a real name.
Many people are saying. What was that final score there against Borges?
Pennington Jones won the first set 6-4, and then Borges 6-3, 6-3 in the other two.
My lukewarm take of the day is I think that Borges is going to be an incredible coach one day. I don't know that he's ever. Yeah, I do. I don't know that he's ever going to reach that highest level of competitive tennis as a player, but the guy just grinds, and I feel like that's a player who has maximized his physical talent for the most part. And I think that he will be a good coach to a future top 20 player. That's my take of the day. As Raducanu serves to go up 5-1, 40 love, cruising. Nice out wide serve. She's really been hitting her spot on the wide serve on the ad side since I started watching. And it seems like she's doing it. Yeah, like she seems both able to flatten it out and put just a little bit of hook to it. And I'm not seeing Lee with the ability to read which is which in the time that she needs to have an offensive return. I mean, basically every ball that's gone out there has been either a weak return or unreturned.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now. I take it away, Fergus.
Yeah, well, no, I was just saying it's 5-1, and it looks like this could be over pretty quickly from now.
Indeed. It's tough. When you win that first, the second was competitive at least, right? And then you find yourself down like this against a seeded player. It's just so tough, And then this is tough at the rec level. I can only imagine when there's money and rankings points and your family's watching and your coach is watching, the implications of the stakes of this. They're so high. They're so tough. I do hope that Lee is able to get a game or two here, leave with a little bit of confidence, because she did push Raducanu here.
Yeah, she did. Absolutely.
Oh my God. The James Milner of tennis. That's so good.
Who is the James Milner of tennis? Oh, actually, no, that's fair. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like that. We're talking about Nuno Borges is the James Milner.
Yeah. That's fair, actually. I really like that. Well, it's triple match point for Raducanu here.
Oh, you're ahead of me now.
No, I've just looked at the score. I was trying to just post a tweet, and whilst trying to do this, it was, but yeah.
I'm going to say it. I think Raducanu is going to win. That's my belief personally. Tell me what you think.
That's summon. I will have to agree with you.
The last match that I commentated on where there were 3 match points in a row
was the
it was Sinner Alcaraz, man. Yeah. So get comfortable potentially,
I'm not gonna get that comfortable, because I hope from a British standpoint that this isn't, me getting comfortable for Raducanu now losing 7-5 in the third. But you know, if she does.
Oh no, there's another one. Another miss from Raducanu. I have work. Like the work that I do to pay my mortgage is coming up. And so I wouldn't mind if this wraps up in a game or two.
Yeah.
But
I'm now covering the screen to make sure that I should be disappointed with that miss. I'm now covering the screen to make sure that if it clicks out, that I'm not disrupted.
Another second here from Lee. Ooh, nice return there from Raducanu. No, you cannot miss that volley on your third match point if you want to have a better chance to win Wimbledon than Jack Draper. Oh, unbelievable.
Okay,
3 misses from Raducanu. Lee made her work for it, but come on.
You're a lot ahead of me now.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
As they say in Canada.
Oh, no. She really can't miss that. That's
all right, so I'm going to pause it as Lee is about to serve here on her first at deuce. And so then why don't you let me know when to start us up, and we'll do. You know. If the producer's on, can we pull down the score so we don't get scooped on this?
Yes, can we pull down the score, please, Mr. Producer?
Just say when Lee's about to serve. I think I know what's going to happen here.
Okay, Lee is about to serve. Return on the baseline from Raducanu, and that's a fantastic forehand.
So here we are at this deuce point. Great ball from Raducanu, indeed. Lexi talks about the Northern European mindset, and I actually, very American of me, don't know what that means, but I would love to know what the Northern European mindset is. I would imagine it has something to do with biking places, because based on every single thing that I've learned about Northern Europe, bikes are involved. I don't know. I hope it's not an offensive stereotype. There's no way that is, right? That's like okay.
It's
you're gonna check me if you need to, Fergus.
Match point. It's a forehand to forehand battle at the moment. It's actually a great rally, and Raducanu puts a little extra on it, and she goes back in behind, and she gets it done.
Oh, what a closing shot! Okay, Raducanu looked pretty darn solid there in the sets that I got.
Yeah, she did. She looks pretty emotional, actually.
And no one upset by the handshake. Take notes.
Yeah,
Putin who just confirmed, Fergus, you are not defending any longer
on the Putin Saver team. I'm most definitely not. I think Raducanu is quite emotional because she was not feeling great today, and she managed to push through, I think. And that's a testament to her. She's being able to push through the pain and the pain, or I'm obviously not there, so I don't know whatever was going on. But Raducanu actually leaves the court as well with Lee, I believe. I don't know whether she's going to get something. She didn't take any of her stuff, so I guarantee she's coming back. But
she might just be taking a minute. I think it's a good win. It's a good win on grass. Home crowd. It is a gray, windy day, and people are bundled up on June 24th. And she found a way against an opponent who threw some interesting stuff at her.
Yeah, Lee was playing some great stuff in the first set, and she was really leaning on that ball. And in these sorts of conditions, the ball just flies, right? So, she was getting those winners, and Raducanu had to work her way into the game. It was a scrappy second set where they traded a lot of breaks, and but as soon as Raducanu got over the line, she always looked like she was going to come through. That third set was very dominant from her, and she can play all that tennis like she did in that third set. Serve as well as she did in that third set. Then she can take a lot of confidence into Wimbledon, where she has points to defend. So
something about the ambiance of a seagull just kind of casually flapping across the screen. It's just great British tennis culture. It just cracks me up.
Absolutely, it is. It's just, it's what we do best.
Seagulls and tennis?
Seagulls, absolutely. We're known for, we're literally known for anything but that. Seagulls and tennis, so.
It's a spin on strawberries and cream that I don't know if it's going to catch on.
I really don't think it's going to catch on.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good win from Raducanu.
Absolutely.
Fergus, are there any other matches today or tomorrow that you're excited about or that you feel compelled to talk about?
I think we should talk about, I'm going to say this right now. Everyone should tune in for Fernley Kaboli later today. That would be great. We're obviously not here, but everyone should tune into that on their streaming, because that'll be very much interesting. I'm actually very much looking forward to that. So yeah, actually, Zhu versus Stearns is a great.
That is a good one.
Yeah, definitely a test to see where Zhu is right now, and it's a test for Stearns as well. So yeah, it should be interesting. Two very big hitters on a grass court. What else could go wrong?
I've got on the Ostapenko match already because I find her an absolute pleasure and delight to watch.
I love watching Ostapenko when she gets mad for absolutely no reason.
Whenever she makes a call that's out by 8 inches,
my god,
which is a lot.
Actually, a lot. Player on tour for calling things like she'll call for I remember last year she'll call for a review. It's like a good 2 meters out. A solid 2, and she's like, no, I think that's, and we're like, no, absolutely not.
So there's an American football player named Jameis Winston who famously needed contacts for several years before he actually got them. And you would see these clips of him squinting, trying to read the play call from the coach. And my theory is that maybe Ostapenko needs contacts, and that would take her game to the next level. That would make sense, right?
Maybe
There's
she
no
puts
way.
them in once a year, and then that's when she plays this crazy level where she just beats everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe she puts them in only to play Iga. That's why it's 6-0, right?
Soné Kartal, who I'm not familiar with, is off to a slow start here against Ostapenko and looks. She's got that look of what is going on? I don't know what to do, and I think that we might be seeing one of those days from Ostapenko. Also, I say very cool tattoos on Kartal.
No, Ostapenko's playing Kartal. No, it's okay. Kartal looks like Actually, you rarely see an expression change from Kartal.
That's just the look.
Completely. She actually, the only time I've seen her smile was when she won both her matches at Billie Jean Cup, and she didn't even really smile when she made it to the 4th round of Indian Wells this year. She just kind of you will never see a shake of the racket or a fist bump ever, ever, never.
Just icy.
She's completely dialed in. Whether she's losing or not, she's completely dialed in.
How tall is Kartal?
I think 5'3".
Okay.
5'4". Hold on, I can.
Looks extremely powerful. I'm gonna say 5'2".
She's 5'4".
5'4". It's 5'3" energy.
Nerlan, nice of you to join us.
I think on that note, Fergus has school. I have a little bit of work. And realistically, we both got more tennis to watch. But
we do.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Always, Zach, it's been a while. It was lovely to catch up. And
I appreciate your being a good sport and indulging some of my takes, both some reasonable and others different, Oh, different. Hold the phone. The producer, who I believe is producer John, just lost 6-4. And I simply can't get out of here without getting the details and doing a little bit of post-match analysis. Fergus, you're a very good player yourself. Do you have a few more to do this?
Am I?
John says, I'm here to end it all, and I don't know if he's talking about the stream or just had a bad result and is, having dark thoughts. Which you amongst us, right?
I unfortunately need to head off. I'm currently keeping someone waiting right now, but
okay.
Thank you so much, Zach. It was a pleasure as always.
End the stream, but not.
We will see you guys very, very soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video,